You see these ridges I was talking about? See? There's a couple there. And there's 1, 2 on that side. 1 on the end there. 1 on the end over there. So that tells you, that gives you plenty. It should give you plenty of room to wedge it out of there, just like I did with a stiff putty knife. I use this stiff putty knife and my crummy screwdriver. You could use 2 screwdrivers if you wanted, but the thin putty knives just don't really cut it to be able to pry up on it. Okay, so much for that one. Now let's get that one over there. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go for this one here, right there. Before I do that, I'm going to try to get some of the sand out on the back side, because there's a little bit of a gap there. And that might be able to help me on this one take it from here and pry it up high enough to where I can get the whole thing out. We'll soon find out, won't we? Sand out of there. This one here, yeah? Yes. See, these are just all wedged in there. See, it's lifting up, and the edge ones are lifting up too. That's because they're hitting the edge here. But see, I might be able to just keep getting this. See there? Look at that. How easy could that be? Look at that. There. That's because I had some room on the back to kind of lift it, and it could move that way. A little bit less difficult than the one I just did. And I've got some sand in here now. And that just dropped. That fine sand that they had down in there dropped from the sides. Because after they installed this, all these bricks, that's what you do. You take your sand, your fine sand. This is very fine sand to fit down in the grooves. And it goes right down in the grooves. They spread it all out, and then they sweep it in. Okay. So much for that one, right? Just like that. Can you believe that? Look at that piece of wood right there in that brick. You won't see that very often at all. Okay. Now, if your side bricks are cut off at length, you know, even a little bit, you know you can't use your side bricks, so then you'd have to go somewhere else and take a brick out. Okay. I don't know if that's going to go down all the way. I think it will, but I've still got a little bit of sand there, not much, but I think it'll go. I'll have to get a block of wood and tap it down in there. See, it looks like it's up just a hair. I'm going to take a little block of wood carefully when I do this, because I don't want to, if you had it way up too high, and if you start whacking just on one side, you could crack it in half. You know why I know that? Because I've done it. I know I should have worn my ear plugs. Okay, that looks pretty close. Pretty close. Now, obviously, you're going to see a gap there. You're going to see this gap along there. See, like that? Right there. That's because that has to be filled up with sand again. I'm going to have to get, I've got a little bit of sand in the backyard, and I can put it in there, you know, and just fill that back up. I need to make sure I'm pushed over as far as possible too, and I'm pretty sure I am. That's good. And then I'll get the sand and fill that all back up. Okay. All right. Now, ready for this next one. I'm gonna leave the camera. I'm gonna leave the camera on and get you back resituated over here. It should just plop right down in there. Famous last words, right? Should. I'm just going to take a little bit more out. If I can. That's the stuff that was around these edges that then came down. That's why I'm pulling it out. And sand is 95% compaction. And if I get this in there, I might get lucky to where I can tap it down just a hair more and make it flush. Okay. This stuff's been down 19 years, so it feels nice and solid down at the base. Not like just it been installed a year ago or something. Just pulling out a little bit more. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty, man. Get that. Right there. That's good. That is good. That's the other reason why it made it harder to get out, is because I only had so much room because the sand was in there and those grooves and all that. Okay. So find yourself some sand. Hopefully you got some sand around. You can put it on there. I'll go get some sand and be right back to show you what it looks like when I'm done. Well, I got this one done. I figured I might as well show you this. Right there, around that one. My sand in the backyard's not as fine as I would like. I'm still gonna use it because that's all I got. if I had a whole lot to do, of course I would just dump it all out and then kind of rake it and then broom it. This will be good enough for now. Probably in the spring I'm gonna dig out dirt and stuff in between each one of these and then get it down just a hair like this here. You see all the stuff that grows in here. We're up next to the grass and water comes off. And then it starts growing moss and stuff on the edges and you get dirt build up there. There's some's missing there, but that's because I dug some of that out already to clean all that stuff out. But then in order to do it right, you don't want to just leave big gaps. You want to get some sand. So I'll get some playground sand or something at the store. Some thinner, not as thick as this with all the big cobbles in it, just a very small stuff. Then I'll go over this whole thing and sweep it in. And then I'll sweep off the top. And then what I'll probably do is, even after that, I'll probably take the hose and kind of spray it down a little bit. And that'll get it compacted in the joints like I want. But for the time being, this one is good enough on how I did it. That's the one I replaced. Right there at the end of the broom. When it gets wet, it's going to look like all the other ones. And if it's slightly darker, you could take some cleaner, some simple green, and a brush if it doesn't blend in with everything else. But you would never know that I replaced those bricks, would you? There's that one. Bye-bye. Nobody's ever really going to see that now, are they? At first, when I first saw that, I thought, yeah, how am I going to do that? I'm going to have to take that out, take it to the store, and maybe the color doesn't match up, and maybe it's just a little bit different size-wise, thickness-wise, all that kind of stuff. And you know, I never even thought of just replacing it until the other day. I thought, hey, I'll just take that and slide it underneath the bush over there, take that one out and put it over there. Voila, it's done. Now you might be wondering, okay, Joe, how's that going to help me with my patio? I've got a cracked one. I don't have a piece of wood in mine, but I've got 4 or 5 tiles in the middle that have sunk down. Well, you do it the same way. Pull that out just like how I showed you. Get some sand, and I could use this same sand. I could use this same sand right here to fill up down below, right? You know, if there was 4 or 5 in one little area or something, once you take the first one out, then you should be able to wedge the other ones out back and forth, and away you go. It's going to take you a little bit. Have a little patience in you, and you'll be able to get it out of there and fixed, just like Joe. Well, I can mark that one off my list. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. What am I going to show you next time? I don't know, but it might have to do with the gutters.